Have you ever wondered just how tall Goliath was? You remember the giant man that David went out to fight? Well, I get asked that question a lot, and the answer is, in fact, found right in the Bible. Let's read it together. It's found in 1 Samuel chapter 17 and verses 4 and 5. Then Goliath, a Philistine champion from Gath, came out of the Philistine ranks to face the forces of Israel. He was over 9 feet tall. He wore a bronze helmet, and his bronze coat of mail weighed 125 pounds. Wow. Goliath was over 9 feet tall. He was a huge man. Now, living right now, the tallest man in the world is over 8 feet tall. Goliath was even taller. He was a giant. Our Bible verse tells us that his protective coat of metal mesh called mail was kind of like a bunch of paper clips all hooked together to make a coat, and it weighed more than most children weigh. It weighed 125 pounds. Goliath was a giant. Now, everyone agrees that Goliath was tall, but really, being tall or being short is all a matter of perspective. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's think about it for a minute. Let's imagine that most adults in the world right now were about 4 feet tall. Now, 4 feet is about the size of the average 9 or 10-year-old kid nowadays. So picture your parents being that size. Imagine your dad is around the size of a 10-year-old child, although he's fully grown, and your mom's just a little bit shorter. Wow, the whole world would be different, wouldn't it? In our make-believe world, kitchen counters would be a lot lower. The shelves at the grocery store would have to be lower too. And cars would have to be made quite differently. It's fun to imagine, isn't it? Now, imagine that I am born into this imaginary world at my regular size. Suddenly, me at 5 feet tall, I am tall. All the counters would be too low for me, and I could see over everyone's heads. I would be much taller than your dad. You see, being tall or being short is a matter of perspective, or you're only tall if everyone else is shorter than you. I'm short, but only because most everyone else is taller. So if you ever feel too tall or too short, don't worry about it. God made you perfectly, just the way that He wants you to be. Being short or being tall is only a matter of perspective. Remember, you don't have to be a giant to be giantly important in God's eyes, and make it a wonderful new day with Jesus.